8 to 12 inches of snow honestly sounds like ass. Yes, you just do there. Now that one is unmuted, and the front of the mic is right there. So yes, and then there goes that camera on. Ease out of frame. Well, once he leans back, he won't.
Doesn't matter if I'm out of frame that much. I mean,
yeah. I can adjust that, but
our primary thing is
I
audio.
Need to pull up let me pull up the. It should pop up. Yeah, there it is. Bam. That camera on. My mic is working, so. My mic is working. I don't know.
All right. Are we live, Peyton?
Yeah, we're live.
Cool. Ready?
So.
I don't know if it's working. Is it working?
Should be.
Okay.
Let me see. Well.
Am I working?
Yeah, keep talking.
Hello.
Yep.
Okay.
Yours is working. Ethan.
Hello.
Yeah, yours is working.
Cool.
Yeah, we're all working.
All right.
Cool.
I got the chat up on this monitor. We have a new monitor now. Well, not new, but we have a monitor.
Yeah, we have a monitor.
Us.
It's the most impressive setup you're ever gonna see on a podcast.
This is my first podcast, so I mean, this is a lot for me.
You're setting the bar extremely low. You're gonna be on a real podcast someday, and you're gonna be like, holy shit! Like, it's gonna blow your mind.
You guys are on Spotify now. That's a real podcast.
Technically, that is the barometer. All right, shall we?
Shots! Cheers! Ooh.
That's good.
That was the last of the 1800.
That's why it was good tequila. Because it was 1800.
There's no good tequila. Don't lie to yourself.
There is good tequila.
What is this blasphemy,
I've
Savannah?
never had good tequila.
What tequila have you had?
Like bottom shelf tequila.
Well, that's why you haven't had it. Also, like, yeah, make sure it's close to you. Like, yeah.
Got you.
Because, like, that one picks up really slightly, so it does have to be close to your mouth. So whenever you talk, at least, like, bring it up to your mouth.
Got it.
Until we get actual.
Yes. Speaking of bottom shelf tequila, me and Brennan were talking about last night doing an episode where we bring a bartender on and we make cocktails, but we use the shittiest like liquor. It's all bottom
Kelly?
shelf. What?
No, Kelly.
We were thinking either Noah or he mentioned one of his bartenders from work, and I was thinking either that or Noah.
I think Noah.
It depends.
You could
I
do,
kind of
like, far off though, like they both.
Oh.
Like a contest.
But it's a contest between the two of them. But it's it's like Iron Chef because it's all crappy liquor.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Vlad Montezuma.
I like that.
I like that idea. Now we're talking. Savannah, this is why you're on the podcast. This idea's like this.
So anyway, this is our friend Savannah. She is the one that really got us to start actually doing the podcast. So, and she has a very interesting job. If you want to introduce yourself
and tell us what you do.
Yeah, so I am the box office supervisor for the Coca-Cola Roxy in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a LiveNation employee, and I also do some work for Buckhead Theater and the Tabernacle as well. So check out if you're in the area. If you want to come to a show, say hi. But I basically build shows for Ticketmaster to put on sale. I work with tour managers on their holds if they want band comps or labels to buy any tickets or anything like that. And then I work night of show with the ticket sellers, and anything that goes wrong I help out with. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, but can get overwhelming at times.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that type of stress personally. So.
Yeah, I mean, January is like our slow month, so we actually had a few shows canceled. So we have like, normally it's like 5, maybe 6 shows in January, so that's slow for us. But once we hit March, April, it's crazy, like 5, 6 shows, maybe like a week.
Oh, jeez.
It's insane, especially with 3 venues that I'm helping out with. So it can get pretty crazy.
How many event shows have you done so far since you've been working there?
Well, I started in early August, so my first official show was Kesha, which was amazing.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds awesome.
But I've probably done close to like 100
Oh fuck.
shows so far
Nice.
between all 3 venues, which crazy.
So is it just like whenever I was making questions, I kept putting like event rather than show. Is it all musical acts, or do you guys have like other events? Like I know the stadium will have uh like conventions at the
Oh yeah.
stadium. You know what I mean? They'll have like obviously they have football games, they'll have concerts sometimes, but they also have like conventions. They have like convention space at the stadium. Is like that something your venue does? Like
We do a lot of comedian shows.
oh, okay.
When I first started, the big show for that month was John Mulaney. We had between the Coca-Cola Roxy and the Tabernacle, there was about 10 or 12 straight shows of John Mulaney that were all sold out. So when I first started, I was used to the comedy.
Yeah.
And we do get a good bit of comedy, EDM. Whenever I first started in music, I was kind of taught that EDM was like a special event, not like a concert. They consider it like a special event.
Why is that?
They label it more as like dancing music, so they see it more as dancing instead of like an actual concert. But lately I've noticed that people really enjoy those like DJs and all that, so I see it more as like a concert, but it's labeled as a special event because it's dance music.
That's okay. I see what you're saying about like the people that I'm not like I listen to some EDM, but it's only in like a party setting. But the
Yeah.
people that I know who are big into EDM, it's just like the music they listen to, not just like when they're partying. It's like all it's
Like Kyle.
yeah,
right?
like Kyle, who is going to be on in a couple weeks. Like that EDM, you'll have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure that's his favorite
He's
genre.
gonna
And
give me a tattoo live on the podcast. Get ready, people.
it's going to be
I don't know where I'm
insane.
gonna put it, but he's gonna give me a tattoo live.
Like tattoo gun or like stick and poke?
No, an actual tattoo.
Okay.
He's got
Yeah.
a whole setup. I would not do a stick and poke.
I have a stick and poke.
I would not do a stick and poke.
It's not that bad.
I would not do a stick and poke.
Or you have to be safe about it.
I would not do a stick and poke. That's just. I don't care how safe it is.
Okay, what's so bad about a stick and poke?
It can be unsanitary.
Okay.
If it's not done right.
Okay.
And I think it definitely hurts way more as well.
Your skin kind of gets numb from it.
You're also probably going to be into a little bit. You're probably going to have a few drinks in you anyways. I mean, we're
So
doing
I,
we're,
thought
like
about
we always
that.
we're always
I'm probably
drinking on the
not,
podcast.
actually. I'm
Okay.
probably
Okay.
not. The reason why is because it loosens your blood, so you can probably bleed.
Oh,
So like, I'm
interesting.
probably not gonna actually be drunk when I do that. So I am getting my next tattoo on Tuesday though.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait. Full forearm sleeve. It's
Oh,
gonna be
you're gonna get
sick.
the half sleeve.
Yeah, it's gonna take 2 sessions. So like I'm getting, however much he's gonna do on Tuesday, and then the 8th of February he's gonna finish it. So I already scheduled both dates. So I had to schedule it back in. I think I scheduled both of them back in September because that's how much he was booked. So
Damn.
Wow.
yeah, everyone really likes him. He clearly does good work. So.
Yeah. I was
Anyway.
gonna say, I feel like all my artists that I find, especially the one that did my outer arm, there's times where he has to close his bookings for 5 months because he's so busy.
Yeah, that's how
And-
my guy. That's how my guy.
I mean, good
is,
for him,
so.
you know.
I know. He just rose his prices, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to pay like close to $1,000.
Oh, I don't think
For
my guy didn't.
mine.
My guy didn't, but I'm still expecting to pay. Well, so like I'm estimating the price based around what I paid for this one. I paid $200 for this one, which was insane. I
Yeah.
thought that was insane
That
for
is
like.
insane.
Here, show that.
It's-
Hold it up like so
Oh,
the camera
Especially
can
for,
see
like,
it
all
for
the
people
shading.
watching.
Yeah.
It's Dark Souls. But so I don't like 200 is what he charged me for this, and obviously I tipped him a lot. But so like I'm basing it around this one, so I'm assuming it'll be at least 400, if not $500
And
for
that's
the
cheap
sleeve.
for certain work too. Like
Yeah,
I paid close to 800 for mine. That's your size, and yours looks amazing. And for 200, that's a steal.
I got it at Boney Joe's.
Where's that
Zilly.
Really?
Main
No
Street
way.
Zilly. Yeah, the guy I go to is right there.
Shout out to Boney Joe's.
Wow.
Shout out to Dave at Boney Joe's. Because
Yeah.
he's an extremely talented artist, and I can't wait for Tuesday. Like, I have off that day, so like I got a 4-day weekend. I got a 4-day weekend. I'm super hyped for this weekend. I need to drink more. I just finished my drink. I'm gonna go grab another drink. So
Well,
if
it
you wanna
should be
ask
cold.
if you want to ask her the next question while I go and
Yeah.
get another drink, so.
What we really need to invest in at some point. Maybe not invest. We already have several coolers. What we need to do is we need to get the cooler full of ice and bring it into the living room
That's smart.
so we don't have to keep getting up to get drinks. We can just keep the podcast going.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
true.
But it gives a good break for somebody to go and like walk up.
That's-
you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think it gives a good
It-
break personally.
I think it's situation dependent. Okay, so Savannah, I'm very curious to hear more about like your work behind the scenes in concerts. I feel like everybody likes going to concerts, but a lot of people don't appreciate what goes into planning shit. You know what I mean?
I agree, especially with ticketing. Everyone has probably complained about Ticketmaster.
I
and-
can't even access Ticketmaster for some reason. Like I've tried on my phone and I've tried on my computer, VPN on, VPN off, and yeah, the concert we're going to in March, Peyton had to buy my ticket for me, and I had to pay him
That's
back.
weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Did you ever pay me back?
I did pay you back. I mean,
Okay.
you can check our Venmo
No, I
transaction.
believe it. I just wasn't sure. I don't remember.
The whole $40 to see the midnight.
That's funny. I've never had any problem with Ticketmaster. Actually, I've only had like good things with Ticketmaster.
Maybe we can use our burner phone that we put TikTok on for me purchasing tickets as well.
I don't know. Well, you also have a lot of issues with your phone. Like you can't
Yeah.
connect to the 5G.
Yeah, I should really I
So
should.
like I don't like.
I think it's your phone.
Well,
might be
it might
your
also
phone.
be my phone. It's
'Cause
the
I've never
S21.
had any of the issues that you've had.
Yeah, it's the S21. So I don't know if like
Maybe you should just
Galaxy.
get an iPhone.
Well, no.
Maybe
I've
I should
had-
just-
get an iPhone.
I have a Galaxy S8 and I've
iPhone.
had no issues. So I think he just got defective.
Yeah, it might. I think it may. I mean, I
If
also.
you can't get on your lap or the computer either, that's weird. Also, is it
That-
your account?
So that's the problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you need to create a new account.
But I didn't even create an account in the first place unless yeah.
Oh, that's your. You need an
Oh.
account.
It says
Yeah.
it doesn't even give me the option to. It just says here,
This-
fuck. I'll show you right now. Fuck this.
We don't need to. We don't need to.
It's
pull
like
this on.
Master
it's
help.
like you,
I
it's
mean, I
something.
could set it up to where we can put it right on stream if you want to.
No, this is gonna be one of those things where your car won't start and you complain to your dad that it won't start and he starts it first try. That it's like.
I'm gonna do one thing.
I'm gonna pull this up and it's gonna work.
Do one thing, and yeah, it'll just start right up, and we're gonna be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like, I never had that issue, but I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with the extra charges that they add on, like the fees. Because if you buy a ticket for like the flat rate of like $35, and then by the time you get to the end, it's like, why am I paying $70 for a $35 ticket? Which is what a lot of people have a problem with.
I've noticed that with like airlines and I noticed that with Uber Eats especially, but I never noticed that with buying tickets. Like whenever I've bought tickets before, I had these
but
problems.
once you get to like the point where it shows you the price, it'll say like fees and surcharges. If you like there should be like an arrow that you can click down. It will show you like individually. The surcharge is a lot, which as like a person who builds shows, we actually put in that surcharge. And I mean, like, a lot of people complain about it, but it's really just so the venue can make money as well. And Ticketmaster takes a good portion of our ticket sales
Okay.
for selling it on Ticketmaster.
So I mean, so the thing is with that is like I don't necessarily mind paying more. I kind of just wish they would tell me up front. You, like get an idea of what the ticket price is beforehand. You know what I mean? I feel like
think that would be
that was like because the most recent tickets I purchased was Machine Gun Kelly, and I purchased the Machine Gun Kelly tickets, which I actually got the insurance for those tickets as well, and I bought 2.
Well, with COVID, you almost have to.
Yeah, I really wasn't sure with it, and those were more expensive tickets as well than the other one because I also bought Machine Gun Kelly ticket the midnight tickets. Super hyped for that concert in March.
Where is that going to be at?
I think it's Roxy.
Oh, the Roxy-in.
Yeah, it's.
Ooh, I used to work at that one.
Haven't been to a concert there yet. I'm really excited for that.
They have a really nice venue.
We got the floor seats for it.
Ooh,
well,
yeah.
floor seats.
GA.
Speaking of the Roxy and cheap tickets, we need to get tickets for the Menzingers too.
Yes, yeah, I'd be down to get. When is that?
It's around the same time frame. I think it's sometime in the spring. Yeah, it's like March or May. I think.
Hopefully it's in May. I'm hoping it's later. I don't want to get like. I feel like March is gonna be a busy month for me. So like already, I'm feeling like fuck. I got like a lot of shit planned for March. So.
I feel that.
Anyway. So.
But yeah, shout out to the Midnight and the Menzingers.
Yeah. I've never had any issues, and like, especially like he was saying, like, I don't specifically, depending on the artist, I don't really mind paying more for tickets because, I mean, like, I understand the venue needs to make money as well as the artist, as well as the seller of the tickets, like Ticketmaster. Like, they all need to make money somehow, and however they need to distribute that, wherever the money needs to be added, whether it's in the surcharge or service fees, whatever. Depending on the artist, I don't mind paying more. I would like to know, like just tell me up front, and I would just be like, oh, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
And then I just pay. But that's on Ticketmaster. Like that's on like whomever the seller is not putting it on their website.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's on them. That's not really on anybody else. That's on them not labeling it properly.
Yeah,
So.
I've not experienced that with tickets, but I've experienced with like airlines and Uber Eats. It's like, oh, $20 for like a sandwich from Uber Eats, let's go. But then by the time like you get the fee and everything else plus the 20, plus you gotta give 20% tip because like if you go less than 20%, you're an asshole.
Always tip.
Then it's like a $40 thing for like a fucking sandwich. You're like then I'm pissed. You know what I mean? And then like at that point I've already given up on cooking and I have to pay for it. Basically.
But that for Manny's sandwich.
Bird on the run.
Wendy's 4 for 4.
No, bird on the run. Oh, they just put a bird on the run like right in Southside, and that shit fucking hits hard.
I'm getting some bird in the run tonight. I've already decided.
I'm all about
We're
that,
going
Wendy's 4 for 4, but like once it's like, oh,
that
$4.
Fill me up. That doesn't fill me up. I need more. I need more.
That makes sense.
Wendy's is, in my
It's a
opinion,
great
the
deal.
best
It's
fast
the
food
best
joint.
fast food.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree. And I do love that deal, but it just doesn't fill me up. I need like 2 of those. I need 2 for 4.
I haven't had.
I need like
That's
2.
not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's actually amazing. I just need 2 of them.
But like once you're done with like all the surcharges with Uber Eats, instead of it being $8, it's now $20.
Yeah, that's where I get pissed.
Yeah.
That's where I get pissed.
I don't blame you.
Well, I also don't mind paying. Like, if the driver gets most of that money, I really don't mind. Cause like,
I don't think they make that money though.
no, they don't. They don't.
It depends on the
they only make
restaurant.
tips.
No, you do because I did Uber Eats for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You do get the driver does get a lot of that actually. It's just
Really?
like
I did not know that.
yeah, because you get like The surcharge, I think, goes right to the driver. The delivery fee goes right to the driver, and then the surcharge, I think, is split between Uber Eats and the driver, and then obviously the tip goes all to the driver, is I believe how it breaks down.
I did not know
But it's been
that.
over a year since I drove for them, and I mostly did Postmates, not Uber Eats. But
Oh, I don't like Postmates.
yeah, but I got more business on Postmates as a driver.
Makes sense.
A lot of people would use a lot more people use Postmates for lunch. And
Yeah, I feel like it's more common than like Uber Eats is common, but like I feel like the first like kind of like delivery system like that was Postmates
yeah,
or DoorDash. I can't remember. I feel like it was Postmates 'cause I hear a lot
DoorDash is the biggest to me.
Yeah.
I think DoorDash is easily the biggest.
DoorDash
I
is
don't
the
know which
biggest.
one was the first, but DoorDash is definitely the biggest.
Postmates does like the groceries too. Like they'll go to like a grocery store and get you like toilet paper if you need
yeah.
it.
I did a lot of 7-Eleven runs with DoorDash.
I mean, you have to.
It would be funny. I'd be on the other side of town, and I would go to the 7-Eleven in our neighborhood.
Matt loves 7-Eleven.
No. The amount of times
They love him.
Yeah, they do. The amount of times that I see Burger King, which is right down the road, delivered to this house,
I'm so
is
upset.
uncanny. Any fast food place.
Kurgerbing?
Okay, but
There's
Burger
any fast food place that's literally just like like
It's less
So
than a mile.
McDonald's,
Like, yeah,
Burger
less than a
King,
mile?
Taco
It's,
Bell.
no,
a
it's
mile?
exactly a quarter of a mile because I've ran a loop. I know exactly how far it is. It's 1/12 of a mile.
That is delivered to this household is uncanny. Like when I order Uber Eats, I'll get like Permani Brothers and like or
Something from Southside.
so
or,
yeah, something from Southside
or like Pizza Fiesta.
Sometimes I'll get like,
You get Condado a lot.
I get Condado. a lot.
Condado is the
Condado.
best.
That's a
Their
great
tacos
price
are
too.
the best.
I get El Burro a lot, but every time which is in the north side, it's like a mile
Yeah.
away. But like every time I
Either
get
way.
El Burro, it's cold.
Point being,
Condado.
if I get something, it's not something that's in walking distance, right?
like
Matt's gonna listen to this and then like beat the fuck out of
good
us.
for him.
I was gonna say, Burger
some-
King is probably like the least favorite of all the fast food.
I was like,
I'd
they're
put Burger
terrible.
King over Taco Bell.
I think the closest thing
Yeah.
that I get is Mickey's. I'll get Mickey's delivered.
Nikki's, yeah.
And that's pretty close. I will say I
That-
could
that's-
just walk there. But that's the closest thing. That's the closest.
Nikki's is about equidistant to Kurgerbing.
It is. It's further, but it's not that far.
If you don't-
I mean, I walk to Modern Cafe.
Yeah.
I walk to Modern Cafe when I want to drink. So.
I mean, I ordered
And it's
from
right
like
next to it.
I ordered
So-
from like Byers Pub, which is like next to Modern. It's like the next.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
yeah,
corner.
yeah, yeah.
Modern is the one corner. Byers Pub's the
Yeah,
next corner.
yeah.
People are gonna figure out where we live listening to this.
You're gonna have this random fan knocking on your door. You're like, can I be on the podcast?
Random
Oh,
fan. It's literally
Honestly,
just-
they.
That sounds
a
like the
random
Southside
fan.
night.
A random fan.
And then they
is
crash on the
literally
couch.
gonna be- A random fan is gonna be someone we know, and then they're literally gonna crash on the couch, which is where the. That's the point of the name.
Hence the title,
Yeah,
Savannah's
it's
I
Crash.
was gonna say, I
You-
mean,
Like, we didn't
there's
like
been
them.
I slept on this couch so many times after parties.
As long as you don't like attempt to kill us, like.
Which I mean, good luck.
Well, that's why I said a 10.
That's a bet
why I
that's
said a 10.
that's a
Like,
bet
as
heavily
long-
not in
yeah,
your
as long as
favor.
you don't
Told me
attempt.
about all that and was
Well,
like,
yeah, let's
how
not go
much,
into detail.
how-
we don't need to mention any of
how,
that stuff.
yeah.
But-
I was just like,
Let's just say the
he
house
just kept
is
talking, and I was like,
very well
Bro.
prepared to defend
This
itself.
is-
I
Let's
was
just
gonna
leave
say,
it at that.
this, you're
We're in defense.
The crashing on the couch house.
Pentagon level of protection.
It ain't
is
nothing to
this
fuck
house.
with.
You guys also are in this area, so like you kind of need to be.
It ain't nothing to fuck with. Let's just leave it at that. All right.
All right, if you want to get back to the questions, I'm gonna do
So-
something really quick to your computer. I forgot to plug it in.
Uh,
I forgot to plug in the wire. So.
Ah, yes,
haven't
we've been
gone- we
we've
haven't
been
gone
recording
full-
on a computer that is turned off. Let's go.
No, like we're on Wi-Fi.
Oh, you mean that
Oh,
wire?
you want to like wire up.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah.
Is Express on?
I hope it better be. I didn't. Whatever your reason is
Why is it New Jersey?
'Cause that's the closest to where I live.
mine's New York.
New Jersey's closer. If you pick so when you set up a
Mine
VP,
defaults to the closest one, and the closest one for me is. Oh, yours isn't updated.
Yeah. Okay.
Mine's updated and it goes to not New York City. It goes to New York.
There's like a VPN closer in New York. Okay.
One in New York that's like directly north from.
Well, at the time, New Jersey is closer than New York City to
I was gonna
Pittsburgh.
say, my work one I think connects to Virginia.
That.
I think.
That's probably equidistant depending on where it's at. If it's like, well, for you it wouldn't be closer. It would be closer, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even understand what a VPN does. They were just like, here's a VPN, here's how to log into it. You need this to do most of your work, and I was like, cool. I just connect to it, and I'm like, sick.
I mean, I'm surprised a big company.
Just use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's protection. The best, the simplest explanation of a VPN is that it protects you. Like
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said. So.
Makes sense.
We could explain it, but that's probably, I don't know if people really want to listen to that right now.
And we
Probably not.
explained it wrong on a VPN.
Well, even if we
they
were,
can't
there's
really
no
get
password
much.
on there. It's
Yeah,
just
they would just
it's
know that
the
you're
default
connected.
ExpressVPN.
Oh, this doesn't have
thing.
the,
Yeah, there's
this
nothing
doesn't
on
have
there.
the IP address.
No, it doesn't show it. It's just the default thing. Shout out to ExpressVPN. We're not sponsored by them, but we'd love to be. So Savannah.
or whomever, whichever one.
I mean, any VPN that
Anyone.
wants to sponsor us, we'll give them a shout out.
Sponsoring you guys.
Anyone sponsoring us, for that matter, yeah.
The Midnight. Listen, I am a part of 0.05% of like the most listened to listeners of the Midnight. I'm probably the #1 listener. There's like no way, like 0.05% of their listeners, and they only get like. I mean, well, wait, it's right here.
You're responsible by the people you've convinced to listen to the Midnight. A good chunk of their revenue, their Spotify revenue.
Yeah, I should be.
They just reach out and they're like, "Hey,
the Midnight should sponsor
let me be on."
Dude, I would love to have the Midnight.
Dude, when we go to the
if I could have the Midnight on the podcast, I'd actually
let's make a banner when we go to the podcast. Let's make a big ass sign like, "Hey, we want you on our podcast," and see what happens.
Yeah.
YOLO. You never know what could happen.
Well, they joked around about printing out the screenshot of me being 0.05% of their listeners, and like, just
That's
show that shit.
And then captioned, "We want you on our podcast."
Want you on our podcast.
And you're like,
you're on the list of podcasts too. I mean, that's free promotion anyway.
Yeah.
Some random person's like, "Ooh, what's that?"
Crashing on the couch.
Oh, that
at
sounds
crashing
cool.
on the couch.
Yeah, I love that for you guys.
0.05% of listeners.
0.05. That's a lot of listeners.
Especially considering it's a small band.
I had over 11K hours listened to just them this past year. 11K out, over 11K hours of just the Midnight.
I don't even think I listened to anyone specific
Well,
that much.
That's how many hours
to
I
be
listened to
fair,
Joe Rogan.
I mean, like,
this
I
year.
did fall asleep. There were a good amount of times when I just fell asleep to them.
And-
Not by myself, obviously. I mean, listen,
Right.
There's
Right.
nothing that hits harder. There's nothing
Alright.
than the Midnight in bed. Like, that when the sax hits,
God.
that hits different, dude. That hits different.
That just helps. It's a beat.
Yeah. We also play it during our parties, so I mean that adds into that 11,000, but probably not enough, not a ton, but it definitely adds in.
And they also don't DMCA, so I would play it when I was like streaming a lot when I got fired. So
Okay.
when I was streaming like every day, I was just like had them on in the background.
Okay.
So as well.
Yeah, I know. I hear it. I'm like,
And he hears it at night.
yeah, I walk upstairs. I'm like, damn, the midnight again.
I mean,
The midnight
just put
at
it on.
midnight. That just sounds right.
Well, also you can just like put them on, and it's just like nice, like just casual vibe music that you can just like relax to.
Yeah.
That's me with like The Office. That's not the same.
So what's the next question?
Okay.
The Midnight got their intro.
I mean, that's who we use for our intro, so.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's what I was playing. That's what I was playing earlier.
Oh,
That's the midnight.
I was gonna say, like, okay.
That's what we're talking about, yeah.
That's the people we're talking about. They're the midnight. They're so good. They're so good.
They're like, I don't know, they're very cinematic. They're very good, like, film music. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah.
Stranger Things
Well, they have
season 4
instrumentals.
should really contract them.
Or however many seasons they do. The midnight should be on their soundtrack.
For sure.
At some point. It would fit them perfectly. So.
It would. Anyway.
All right. Well, one thing I do want to like ask you about like how behind the scenes of concerts work.
Okay.
So, because you've talked to me about it like a bit over New Year's, but it's New Year's, so we were both fucked up. I was very fucked
You
up.
were very. I had to drive, but yeah, you.
I was
and
very fucked
Peyton,
up.
especially Peyton, were very.
Anyways.
I was good enough to be host.
Anyways.
There were
Can
some
you-
people that didn't know.
Can you walk me
There were a
through
good amount of people that didn't realize.
that didn't realize how fucked up we were?
Yeah. Well,
There was a lot
I
of
don't know about
drinking
you.
New
About
Year's
me,
Eve.
There was people that literally told me that they didn't know, and I was like, damn.
That's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Probably don't want to
Can
discuss
you-
that.
Can you describe for me from beginning to end how like what you do to set up the concert?
Okay. So, first things first, we occasionally will, depending on how big the show is, we'll get a heads up that, like, hey, so and so artist is routing, they're thinking about coming here, we're working on something from, like, our talent buyer, and he'll be like, hang tight for that. And then we get a ticketing letter if it is booked with, like, date, time, ticket pricing, the holds that they want for like their band or like any labels that want to buy or any type of holds that they want.
What do you mean by holds?
So it's basically like tickets that they want pulled from our capacity, and night of show they'll have like a guest list and we use their band holds as their like comped guest list.
So like VIP?
Yeah, so
Okay.
they'll be like, oh, hold 75 tickets for the band hold, and that's basically like their comp for their like VIP or guest list.
Okay.
And then we do like label buys, like if their label is big enough and they have people that want to buy tickets to our venue, they will be like, oh, put like 20 on the label buys. And then what's another big one? Sometimes like when we know it's gonna like sell out, the tour will be like, hold back 30% of the tickets so that if it does sell out in pre-sale or like in the first 10 minutes, within like the next hour or two after it goes on sale, they'll be like, okay, release the holds for pre-sale or holds for like they call it a holdback. So it's basically like, because they don't want it to sell out before like general admission sales. So when it goes on sale to the public, like they don't want it to sell in pre-sale and people get mad because they're like, well, I didn't get my opportunity because I didn't have the artist pre-sale password or like the LiveNation password.
So, like, for example, when I got the MGK tickets, I got such good tickets because I was Google searching the pre-sale password, and I found
I
that
given
shit.
you that.
Well, this is before I knew, and
That's true.
this is before I knew.
Hey, if you got the cheat code, use the cheat code,
like,
baby.
I mean, I found it on Reddit, and I found it the day of. So, like, that's all I needed.
It's,
you know,
it's
I
honestly
only
really
needed-
simple
I only
passwords.
needed it was really simple.
Most of
For
the time,
for
it's-
Machine Gun Kelly, it was actually really simple. Like when I found it, I was like, of course it was like the password was like tickets to my downfall. Like actually, like it was just.
Yeah, the password is never. So it's like a
super simple.
It's like a sponsorship, like a coupon code. It's not like.
Yeah.
It's like it's something related to what the product is.
Exactly. So
it's like their tour name or like something related to like the artist
Yeah.
itself or something. Yeah, pretty much. It's super simple because it has to be short because Ticketmaster can only handle so many characters for a password.
But that's how I got such good
So
seats.
okay, let me like make sure I'm understanding this in like layman's terms as someone who doesn't go to concerts very often. So the recording label or like the touring whoever runs the tour, they hit you up and they're like, we want X amount of tickets reserved for X amount of seats reserved for our VIP and like our crew, like our team, our boys.
Yeah.
And then they also say we want say like 30% reserved for the general populace, and then that other 70% that's left is oftentimes bought up by people that have like a Disney Fast Pass that are like members with Ticketmaster, and they get like first look, and they buy that shit up. It sells out. If it sells out, then there's that extra 30% or whatever percentage they specified left over for the layman, the rest of us.
Yes.
That like, oh shit, it sold out. Oh, but actually we got these extra ones for y'all. Here you go. Okay, so is that correct?
Yes.
Am I making sense of that? Okay.
Yes, that's pretty much the big part of holds, and then we have to.
There's probably radio shows.
Well, how are those?
Radio shows
radio.
There's
Oh,
giveaways.
of course, but I mean that's
So they
got to
probably-
be less than like 5% of total tickets.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
depending on the venue, we have it set for like 50 to 70 tickets. We never use that many, but we have that reserved, and then once we
Is that reserved for holds or is that reserved for?
Yeah, technically those are all considered holds, and then when we use them, they're either an adult ticket, which is put on like a price tag, like someone's actually buying those tickets with money, or it's a comp, which we're just either giving it to the tour or we're giving it to the radio station because that's written in the contract that they're getting those tickets for free.
Interesting. So radio stations don't pay for the tickets.
No, mostly because it's like marketing, and it's kind of like a relationship that you're holding up with a radio station or like a specific like genre radio station, because we get so many types of genres that like specific radio stations, when that genre is coming to our venue, they get those tickets. So it's kind of like a relationship holder.
That's really interesting.
Mhm.
Is that relationship like how profitable do you think that really is? Like if you're losing, say, you give away 5 tickets to a radio station that you could have sold for $75 to $100 a pop. That's like 500. We'll say it's like $500.
We're really not missing it. As long as our venue
Okay.
makes our mark so that we can like pay the actual band their guarantee and like pretty much pay our own like venue expenses, which is like normal utility bills.
Mm-hmm. Your
we're
operating
fine.
costs.
Like yeah, it's really not that big of a deal once we make our cut. Like of course we want to make more money, but it doesn't always work out that way.
That's really interesting. One thing I want to ask you more about the holds is when you have that portion of tickets that are considered holds, like you were explaining, how are they after the people that are after the non-held tickets are sold out? How are the holds priced? Do they go up in price, or are they just sold at a regular price? Like how's it, or is it just like whatever section they're in, it's the same price as whatever that section would have been?
So we have like different sections of our venue priced off by like we call them P1, P2, P3, which is just price level 1, price level 2, price level 3. So especially for like we're such a small venue too. We only hold about 3,800. So it's pretty small, so we don't need that many price codes. So normally like the floor is like P3 because it's the cheapest price. And then P1 is like the front of like upstairs, like the front seats, like the good seats are considered P1 because that's the best seat in our house, so we price that higher. And then P2 is like a reserve seat that we have upstairs. And I mean, those are really good tickets, mostly because you're getting like your own seat. It's guaranteed, it's yours. So it's like it's a little bit of like a higher price, but it's not the best seat in the house, but it's also you're not standing the entire time.
Do you guys like when you hold tickets, how do you determine like which section they're being held? Like which level of P? Like the good
Um,
ones, the bad ones, or is it like a portion of each, or does the
so
tour guide figure that out?
yeah, so it really depends on what the ticketing letter says, because
Okay.
sometimes they'll be like, oh, for like our VIP or our guest list or our band holds, say they want like 100, and they want 10% of that to be like P1, and then they'll be like the rest GA, which is P3.
Is there like a negotiation that goes on with that between the touring manager and like the venue, where they're like, "Hey, you wanted 100 like of the best seats reserved. That's like we're gonna lose a lot of money if we give you that." Like is it just like are they like always pretty
It's kind
reasonable
of like
about it?
already determined. So they go through a talent buyer that represents the venue, and they kind of like figure all that out. And then if they change it, they can let us know. But then we have to go to our talent buyer and be like, "Is that okay? Like they want this now. Like you cool with that?" And then if they're not cool with it, they'll contact them themselves and figure it out amongst them, and then let me know like, "Hey, now we're not gonna do that."
Okay, that's really interesting. I'm sorry if these are dumb questions.
No,
I'm sorry if
no,
these sound like really fucking stupid, but that's
I mean,
that's really interesting. I feel like people don't ever think about that.
yeah. And then yeah, it's kind of like all determined like in our ticketing letter, like time, any pre-sales that they want to do, because we do like Spotify pre-sale, a LiveNation pre-sale, and then like an artist pre-sale. Um, if they want like certain holds, what price they want and how many they want in that price and where they want in that price.
Okay.
And then platinum, which are like the platinum seats, which are like they're considered like the best seats. So a lot of our upstairs we sell in platinum. So we'll put in all our holds, and then we'll ask our talent buyer like, how heavy do you want us to like sell platinum? Like, do you want us to do more seats and get like the most money out of it, because platinum will sell them for like a steep price,
Mhm.
depending on like how good the artist is and how popular the artist is. Because sometimes it'll be like, oh, like just like the normal, which is like our front 2 rows, and then like our middle, like we call them the red seats, but they're like leather seats, are super nice, and we'll sell those platinum because those are like the best seats. But we have to do platinum, and then we have to send that over to our talent buyer to approve everything, like our pricing, like our sales tax, our holds, like everything. And then once he approves it, it's like, cool. We have a set time where it's visible on Ticketmaster and people can see it, and that's like the announce time. And then there's an on sale time. So that on sale time will be for like the first pre-sale. And then
Okay.
once that pre-sale's done, it disappears, and then it goes to like either the next pre-sale or it'll go to on sale.
Okay. Cool.
So it's kind of hectic. It's actually really easy once you get used to it. But like building it is just like it's like the same thing over and over. It's just how heavy they want stuff or how little they want stuff.
Okay.
And then after
Gotcha.
that, it's just once it goes on sale, it depends on the touring person too. Sometimes they'll want everyone on a Zoom call and make sure that everything's good for them. And then on sale goes on, and they want everyone on there to like kind of be like, all right, we're at like 700 sold in like the first half hour, and it's like you're on a Zoom call. Or they want like ticket count updates every like standards like 15 minutes, half hour, hour, and then 2 hours. And then after that, periodically they'll just email me and be like, hey, can you just send over our current ticket count? And then I'll just send them the number for Atlanta, and they'll be like, cool. And then once it gets closer to like the time that it's like showtime, I'll go through like the holds and be like, hey, do you guys still need all this? Can we like release some? And then hopefully by the time show day comes, I just have like the band holds because we only need those for the guest list that day. And then like
Okay.
I'll go in and like set up everything for like I guess like the box office per se. Like I make sure like the ticket sellers have everything they need. We have like premium seats who like do seat upgrades for stuff that we don't sell. So I'll get their price code set away. And then I'll set away. We get the Braves own our venue, so they get 50 tickets per show. So I'll get their list and comp their tickets and have those ready. And then once I get the guest list, I'll just print off their tickets and then just work in the show like normal. Ticket sellers will help out. Most of the time, we're just helping people out who either bought like fake tickets off of like StubHub, Vivid, or like they can't access their ticket and we have to like print off their ticket. But I mean, like, I think it's really fun. A lot of people don't like ticketing because a lot of people think it's boring. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of like dealing with people, and a lot of people don't like dealing with the people. It's very much customer service, but I love it.
I was gonna say that sounds interesting and like probably pretty fun to me. I don't know. I worked. I mean, I worked hospitality in
Yeah.
college, so like that I always liked that. I always enjoyed putting the events together and working the events and like helping people out with the events. That I don't know, that sounds interesting and fun to
It's a
me.
lot of fun, yeah. I mean, it can be stressful because like there's times where it's like we get like 3 or 4 ticketing letters. One goes on next week. One's supposed to go on sale in 2 weeks. One's supposed to not go on sale till like a month from now. But they want everything done at once.
Okay, so that kind of leads me to the question the next thing I was gonna ask you is like how long does this process usually take, or is it just like all over the place? Or is there like a minimum time, like you
Uh,
motherfuckers can't come to us a week in advance? Like it's got to
yeah,
be
definitely
minimum a
not a
month.
week in
Like,
advance. I actually just built a show that is supposed to
sorry.
like it's on sale now. It actually just went on sale today, and then they're supposed to perform like mid-February.
That's
And
pretty. I mean, that's like a
we
month.
built the show probably a week ago. So like that's the shortest timeline I've ever seen.
We're streaming on what, January 14th? So that's exactly a month, more or less.
Yeah, because they get announced 2 days, so it's the 18th and the 19th of February. So yeah, pretty much like a month, which is not normal. I think the longest we have a show in June that we just built for, and I'm pretty sure it's on sale. Yeah, it's on sale, and that's OAR, and they're not until June.
Okay.
So that's a long time frame. So it really just depends. I mean, it depends on how soon the tour gets routed and put together. Because like a time frame like that, I mean, like it's sold really well, like already. Like so, a month wasn't like an issue for them, but for like a smaller artist or like a not popular artist in like Atlanta area, they need that time frame.
Like,
You
look
mean
at
like a longer time frame to like get more tickets to sell? You mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
look at the Midnight. The
Yeah.
Midnight, they announced their tickets like for March all the way back in what, like?
September, I think.
No, I think it was before that.
It
I
might
thought
have
it was
been.
over the summer.
It very well. I think it was
I
because
thought
we
it
were
was.
we were outside like chilling.
I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. So I think
It was
That's
like
a long time frame. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
all
a
the way,
long time.
and then it's like towards the end of March.
yeah,
No, it's middle of March. It's middle of
sometime
March.
in
Either
March.
way, it's like the second or third week of March is when the concert is.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and it was over the summer was when they announced their tickets. I mean, like, I mean, this is them pulled up right now. You can see like they're, like it's only like
Well, that's the album.
that's
but
the album, but like you can only see it. It's like 1 million views. Like
Oh wow, yeah.
they're not even in double digits of a million. So like,
I was gonna say one is 8 million views, almost 9.
yeah,
Crazy.
that's not a lot actually. That's really small to be on spot for listeners actually. When you look at like other people who
Yeah.
have like, I mean, some people have of
Billion.
multiple billion
Yeah.
of listeners, and that's per month. Like these
Yeah.
are per month. That's really small. So yeah, I don't know. It was back in the over the summer, and I can't imagine how full that. I mean, there's still floor. I'm pretty sure there's still floor tickets available for their concert, and they're cheap tickets. They're only like $35.
Oh, that's
So.
not bad at all.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Smaller groups definitely need more time, whereas like bigger groups only need like a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean supply versus demand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, MGK did it really early though for his concert though. Like I booked that was back in I think it was March or May, and the concert was
That's pretty recent.
it was the last weekend of October. It was Halloween weekend. So, and I got those tickets in I think May actually.
Did that show sell out? I feel like it.
Yep. Oh yeah. It sold out. I literally got text messages the day after I bought mine from people saying, "How the hell did you get your tickets?" Because it was sold out when I went on Ticketmaster when they went on sale, and I was like, I got mine the day before because I found the password.
Yeah, that password always helps.
It wasn't that hard. I just Google searched it and it was on Reddit. So it was on Reddit.
Yeah, I think people knew like once MGK released like the Tickets to My Downfall album that concert was gonna sell out once he did it. Everyone knew.
You know what the
I mean that's one of the best probably one of the best albums of 2020, if not the best.
Well, it's funny.
Yeah.
The password was because like tickets for
My Downfall.
It was the number 4, but that was it.
I mean, that's it. Almost has to be because you're literally trying to buy the
simple.
tickets.
It was that simple.
Yeah, I think it has to be at least like 8 characters for it to like work as a password if they're using Ticketmaster.
Probably.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I don't know why you would use anything less. So.
Or more. Can you imagine Tickets to My Downfall as the password?
I mean, changing 4 to the number 4 is only 2 characters less. 4 is FOR versus just the number 4. That's only 2 characters less.
Yeah, but
That's
you're
not
changing the word tickets TO My Downfall to the number 4. It's not the album's not called Tickets for My Downfall, right?
Okay, I guess so. But like,
Yeah, it's big brain time.
So 1 character less. So
Yeah, one character less.
So wait, that makes the argument that it's like less
Quick.
characters even less of an argument because it's only 1 character less. So.
Look at what MGK did.
Dude, he's so
As
slick.
if he
He's
was
so
the-
slick with that.
Yeah, as if he was the one that came up.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're mentioning on New Year's that you've dealt with that you deal with like concert manager, like you deal with like artist managers, right? What who
I'll be right back. I'm using the restroom.
all right, who all have you dealt with, like their managers, and like what,
God.
or like maybe not necessarily who all. I'm sure it's a lot, but like who stands out, like concert managers that are interesting. I mean, if you don't want to tell me, or you don't necessarily have to tell me like
It's
necessarily
all the
anything
rap
bad,
shows.
but like
It's all the rap shows.
I mean, you're in
I
Atlanta.
hate
That's
saying-
the
I
hub
know,
of rap.
And I
That's
hate saying it, but like especially in Atlanta, the worst shows to work are the rap shows, and everyone in our venues are like even if we like the artist, it's like, but it's a rap show. It's just like I don't blame the fans, but
'Cause
like
you're
I
saying
do
people get
blame
rowdy?
the fans. They get rowdy. They're
I mean,
mean.
if I'm going to a rap show, I'm gonna get fucking rowdy. Like I'd be
Yeah,
fucking pumped.
And it sucks for the box office because when we know we have a rap show coming, like instead of their holds, if they ask for like 100 holds, I'm giving them 200 in holds because their guest list. I think the biggest guest list I ever had was DaBaby, and his guest list was 3 pages.
How does
3
that?
pages.
How does that? What's like the normal page? Like
Like
one
maybe
page?
like a page or like a half a page is like normal. I could not believe it whenever I got it. I was like, bro, you have this many friends? Where are you finding this many friends?
The
And
guest list.
yeah.
Good for
And
him. I mean, I
yeah,
guess.
I mean,
Like when it's that many, when it's that big of a hold, does that take a big, like how much of a chunk out of the profits does that take?
not
Is
much.
it
I mean, really,
negligible?
it's not much. If it's like
Okay.
1,000, then
Okay.
we're seeing it. But like
'Cause then it's like half the
200's like
venue at
the
that point.
max, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
And we kind of expect it. But yeah, it's not like the rap show's tour manager. It's the openers. I don't want to say tour manager, but they're representative. Because rap shows, they normally have like, I've seen at most 5 openers.
Really?
Yeah, they do. It's popular that they'll do like 5-minute increments. So
Mhm.
they do like a song, just so they can like, if they got friends, they're like, okay, cool, they get some stage time.
Yeah, you got to put your friends on. Yeah, of course.
You have a snake.
I mean, for how this is a very improv podcast,
Oh my
so like,
god.
why not? I've had a snake.
I mean, I've seen it, but I didn't know it was like a real thing. Oh my god. I love snakes. Oh, she is so cute.
Sorry to interrupt. I mean, this is a very improv too podcast.
That's
So
true.
like,
We did not have this planned, by the way. As you guys know, we mentioned we were doing podcasts every other week, and this is clearly week. So.
Yeah.
this is my snake Artorias. So.
I love snakes. Hi, you're so pretty.
It's got red eyes and everything. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, I love it. But, god. Yeah, I mean, the worst tour manager I've ever had to, like, deal with was, like, it wasn't, like, it was, like, the second to the headliner, so, like, they were, like,
You don't have to tell me who the artist was, especially if they're like.
I could not even tell you.
I mean,
who
if
the
they're
artist
if they're the
was.
opener, then they're
Yeah,
probably
they
not
were one
very
of the
big,
openers.
anyways.
They
But
were the opener before the headliner, so they were kind of big, but like not really.
okay.
But they're representative. So my role is, just because that show was sold out at the time. I can't even remember what show it was, but that show was sold out. So we only had like the 200 band hold tickets for them. And they used all 200 for all the openers and the headliners. So if they wanted to make any changes, I go to the tour manager, like the head tour manager. And this opener's representative tour manager kept coming up to my window, showing me his all access. It was just like, why aren't you letting this person in? Because there'd be people coming up and be like, I'm on the list. They're not on the list, of course.
Somebody
Then
told
like,
them they were on the
I know
list.
this person. Can't you contact this person? I'm like, no, I can't. So we always tell them, get in contact with your person. And I guess he got enough calls, and he comes up to my window, and he's like, why aren't you letting these people in? I'm like, they're not on your list. And he's like, why can't you just put them on the list? I'm like,
So I should just put anybody that walks up to me
yeah.
on
And
your
he's
list.
like, yeah. And I was like, bro, it's a sold out show. We don't have the tickets for them. And he's like, well, take someone off. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not going to take someone who got on the list off because your rando from down the street decided he wanted to come that night.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I work for the tour. Like, put him on the list. I'm like, you're not the tour manager. I don't have to listen to your ass. And, of course, they get super mad. I'm like, if you want to change to your list, your person's list, go to the tour manager who will let me know, and then I'll change it. But your tour manager knows you do not have the tickets for this. Like, they know. They use all 200. I cannot give you anyone. So he was like, let me see my list. So I showed him his list, and he's like, and I guess he started calling those people that were on his
and realizing
person.
they were already there.
No. Well, so the people that he wanted in weren't on the list, But he started calling the people that were on his artist list, and I guess whoever didn't answer, he assumed they weren't coming. So he's like, these people aren't coming, let me get their ticket. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, you're saying they're not coming, so here's the tickets. And I shit you not, like an hour later, those people came who were on the list who said that they weren't apparently they weren't coming, and they were like, "Oh, we're here to pick up tickets." I'm like, I mean, you're on the list, but the person who represents this artist has your tickets. So you need to get in contact with them because they have your ticket. Because I couldn't give them a ticket.
That's fucked. Like,
it's really fucked.
That just sounds like that. That just sounds like that small artist's manager is like kind of a dipshit or like just a jackass. Like I don't know. Like
he kept coming up like every once in a while and was just like, let me get this person's ticket. Let me get this person's ticket. I'm like, you're really screwing some of these people who earn their spot on this list because your side bitch is like, hey, I'm coming. And it's always the side bitches. I'm sorry, but rap shows, it's always someone's side bitch. It's either like the actual rappers, person on their crew, or the tour managers. Like it's always the side bitch.
If you've got the means to get girls into shows and you want to flex, I mean, I understand it. But also, like, if you're going to flex, maybe plan ahead a little bit. If you're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the most annoying because I kept having to tell him, like, no. And I've told multiple tour managers who are either, like, the opener that they want to, like, change their list. I'm like, no. Go talk to the tour manager. That tour manager will talk to me. And you kind of have to, like, set those boundaries because a lot of the time the tour manager will try and take advantage of who you are, and because you're in charge of the ticketing, they think, oh, you can do something. You can find a comp ticket for me. Or if like they have 100 band holds.
Just let him be.
Okay.
He won't do anything bad.
Oh, I just love this. I love snakes. But if it's like a sold out show and they only have 100 band holds, and they're like, we have like 200 people coming. It's like, sucks. You better tell 100 people that they can't come.
Yeah,
or they better go on Vivid or Ticketmaster resale because we don't got the tickets for them.
Like, it's good to be the BMOC, but like you gotta like plan ahead if you're gonna be the man. And if you're gonna be like the badass who's like, yeah, I can get you in. Like, you gotta maybe plan ahead and maybe be able to tell people, no, I can't get you in. Sorry.
Yeah,
you should have been my friend a month ago when I was getting people in.
Yeah, and they always try to do the whole, well, come backstage and I'll let you in. But since COVID, we only allow a certain amount of people backstage now. It's like, I think it's like 165 people that are allowed backstage.
Dude, that sucks for the guy that used to be able to let you in with COVID. Ooh.
Yeah.
The guy that used to be able to let you in got majorly shut down for COVID.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How often does this happen? Like, is it like every concert there's like this drama, or is it like once every 3 months like there's drama?
It depends on the rap show, honestly. It's only rap that I've ever dealt with it. But, I mean, each genre has their own problems. Like, if it's an older...
Rap is also the most popular genre in the world, so...
Yeah, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta's like basically... I mean, today Atlanta's basically the hub for rap. For the rap.
100%.
For rap industry.
Yeah, so a lot of the time... Our biggest problem is people not realizing that they bought fake tickets or they bought tickets off of Vivid seats or like StubHub, or I see the craziest websites. People bought it off of like ticketsnow.net or like I've seen Tickets Master.
Oh,
so Ticketmaster,
that's
they
sus.
just add an S and they sell tickets on there and make it look exactly like Ticketmaster.
Well, do you know how so this is especially because a lot of people are gonna make this mistake. It's actually really easy to buy ads on Google. So there's a lot of fake websites that'll buy fake ads to pop up when you just Google search any random. Well, if you Google search Ticketmaster, make sure Ticketmaster is the one that pops up because it could easily be a fake Ticketmaster website.
Yeah.
That paid to come up first.
That paid to come up first, because
and it always says ad at the
yes.
at the beginning of the website. If it says ad or if it says StubHub, Vivid, if it's not Ticketmaster, I recommend do not even buying from there.
Yeah, no. Anybody.
So there's nowhere besides Ticketmaster that really sells tickets.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's people that get success from like StubHub or Vivid.
Yeah.
But those are sold by like random people. Like people purchase those tickets and then sell them on that website.
Like, so wait,
eBay.
Wait, is StubHub StubHub? Is that like digital scalping?
It's like
Pretty
eBay.
much.
Yeah,
Interesting.
pretty much. It's like eBay but for tickets.
So scalping.
Yeah, so I mean, people will truly sell their ticket because they want to get rid of it.
Because they couldn't actually go.
Yeah, but the whole thing is they have to like send you the Ticketmaster transfer for it, and when people buy the ticket, sometimes the owner of the ticket will just be like, they just want to make a quick buck, so they'll say that they have these tickets or they'll actually have the ticket, and then never send the transfer to that person.
So they'll get the money, but they'll not actually send the transfer.
Yes. And that's the biggest problem. And sometimes we can maneuver that. We can see, oh, this person bought these tickets in, like, Ohio. And clearly we're in Atlanta. And I can see if they transfer them to someone else in our system. And if the person's nice enough, if I can fully be confident that they have not sent those tickets to anyone else, I'll just print off that person's ticket, that person who originally bought them in Ohio. I'll print their ticket and just give it to the person if they're being nice enough. I mean, there's people that are real jagoffs when it comes to, like, what do you mean I bought a fake ticket? I bought it on Ticketmaster. And then they show me the website. I'm like, that says StubHub. Where does that say Ticketmaster? And they're for sure that they buy it on Ticketmaster.
Okay, this is like a side question.
Okay.
So you're from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Have you ever run into any situation where you've used Pittsburgh language like jagoff, and people be like, what? Like, what the fuck are you saying? Or like yins, or like,
I use
or like
yins
any,
a
or
lot.
like, I mean, there's a lot of Pittsburghese things.
It is considered its own dialect.
It is.
So.
I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that.
if you look at the dialect map of America, it's like big blotches, and then this tiny little like circle,
Yins.
Pittsburghese.
Yes. I say yins a lot, and I get made fun of at the venue a lot because they're like, okay, Pittsburgh, because they know I'm like a huge fan of hockey, and they don't have hockey down there. So I'll
yeah,
be
who do
on
they
my
root for?
phone,
Like
and I'll be
the
super
Predators?
mad. I'll be like, oh, what the hell? And they're like, was it hockey? And I'm like, yeah, shut up. The Penguins are playing.
Let's go Pens!
Yes, let's
go
go
Pens!
Pens!
They stepped it up. They're doing way better than they were right off the bat.
Oh yeah, they're doing really well actually. But yeah, I mean, hockey's my big thing, and then yeah, I say yins a lot, and then I'll wear like jerseys when they play, and people are like, okay, Pittsburgh. I have the Pirates for some reason. I see Pirates hats all the time in Atlanta. I'll see someone come up to my window, and I'm like, that's the Pirates logo. So I'll go up to and be like, yo, Pittsburgh, and they're like, oh, the hat, yeah, I just bought it, and I'm like,
It's a cool logo. I mean,
Yeah,
just a P in gold or
Yeah,
black. I
especially
mean,
just,
that's
like,
kind of cool.
the Pirates, and I mean, low key, we don't care about them. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like,
I don't care
feel
about
like
sports
no one
at all.
cares about the Pirates.
No, so the Pirates fan base is a very dedicated fan base.
Yeah, it's
They really care about the just.
But
He'll
most
get
of
loose when he gets loose. So.
but most of the most of Pittsburgh does not care. It's
No.
all Steelers. I
And
do
no
see
Pens. No, there's a lot of Pens fans.
There
There's
are.
a lot of Pens fans.
But I feel like Steelers are like the main.
Oh yeah. Football is.
Oh, sure, for sure.
Pittsburgh is a football city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like.
It's becoming a lot more hockey, but that's
That's because
the
the
Pens are doing.
Pens
are
better
are
than.
They've
the-
been
more
rivals.
consistent than the Steelers are.
Yeah, I would say more consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pirates are. I always
Hayden,
say
I think
the
you just
Pirates
took a
are,
shit
like,
on your headphones cord.
No, that was there.
Oh, okay.
That was there. So.
I'm secretly hoping he takes a shit on you.
No,
Not
he
gonna
hasn't
lie.
He hasn't eaten this week, so no, he won't. So.
Hasn't eaten this.
Snakes only eat like once to twice a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so worried.
Once
for
to
him.
2 times a week. Hey, listen, I try to feed him once every week, and whether he eats or not is up to him. I offer him food once a week, so it's up to him whether he eats or not. So.
Do you ever deal with are you on the side of the house that deals with writers in artist contracts?
Occasionally I can see them, but I don't have to. It's mostly like the production or like operations, and we have we call them runners. So they basically, it depends on the artist or how much they need, but like a day before or 2 days before, they'll go through the rider and literally pick up everything that they need, like two or like a day beforehand. But I don't
That's
really
smart.
have to deal with it. If anything, I just have to open up the safe for them and give them their money for the rider.
Okay. Because I was gonna, I don't know if you can tell me, but I figure you probably can. I don't know. I was gonna ask you if you see any like crazy shit in the riders, but what's the craziest shit you've opened up the safe for someone to go buy? I guess that the runners have gone and bought. Anything real weird? Or like I've heard about like all green M&Ms or whatever, but like is there anything like real crazy?
When I worked at Stage AE as an intern, I was told that Poppy wanted a vial of tears. That was probably the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, and
That's pretty
really
funny.
hope Poppy doesn't care. I'm sure she doesn't, but they were like, yeah, we just put water and then like a little bit of salt in a vial.
How do you think she verified? Do you think she tasted it and she's like,
I
ain't never
know.
tasted tears like this before. They're not salty enough.
I don't know. I thought that was weird. I feel like that was more of like a branding sort of thing because like it's Poppy, like she's just kind of different.
Is she? What kind of music is she?
So you know that YouTube video from like years ago, the girl that goes, "I'm Poppy, I'm Poppy, I'm Poppy, I'm Poppy." No?
No.
She does like it's so hard. She's like getting more into like metal music now. But like she used to do like the cutesy like bubblegum pop stuff with like a little bit of edge.
Okay.
It's a very like specific fan base. Very specific.
Okay.
But that was probably like the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, that's kind of fun. That's interesting to say the least. That's
The
what.
weirdest thing I've ever had to open my safe for was one of the rap shows. They required what was it, like $2,000 in ones? And I'm sure you can imagine what for.
I can, yeah, I can
That was
imagine
probably
what
like
for.
the weirdest thing because I actually got the pickup, like the money pickup for that. And I
That
was
must
like,
have been heavy.
why is this so heavy? And then I looked and I was like, they wanted how many ones? And I was like, what the hell? And then I went to the production manager came down and I was like, bro, what's up with all these ones? And he's like, you can imagine what they want all those ones for. You can imagine.
Hey, it's gotta rain sometime. Bring bring an umbrella.
Yeah, they want a crap ton of money, and it was like $2,000 ones, and I was like, oh my god, I have never. And like when I get that, like those money pickups, it's like $3,200, like $5-10 grand, and I'm like, like, oh, this could pay my bills. Like, I was crying. I'm like, oh god, like I wish I could get that. Nice hat.
Thank you.
That's a screen grab. Yeah, I feel like riders have been around for decades, and now they're like people who know what they are. I feel like at a certain point, culturally, people just start goofing off with them, like fucking off,
Yeah.
like, yeah, give
they're
me
easy to
tears. Let me
find.
come up with like
No.
the most outlandish thing
Yeah.
to put in
and I
this
mean,
rider.
most of the time it's like the big artists that
Mhm.
like have specific stuff, but like most of the time it's like
Snoop Dogg. Yeah, I've heard stories about what Snoop Dogg asked for.
It's like
Yeah.
a lot of
Well,
swishers.
Wait, a lot of swishers and
A lot of
honestly,
woods.
that's a big thing.
They don't even
Yeah.
A lot of
hide it.
woods.
They just like ask for weed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, big thing in rap is like liquor,
Of course.
random ass food that they want for their buses, or swishers.
Of course.
A lot of swishers.
I mean-
and they always want like the specific flavors and like the wood tips.
I mean,
But
nothing
yeah.
like a good grape swisher.
Yeah, right?
That's how part of how me and Matt became friends, smoking grape swishers.
He still does. I don't think that man will ever stop smoking
Yo,
the
the
swishers.
banana.
The banana backwoods are pretty tasty.
Banana backwoods.
Ooh.
Those.
Yeah.
They're pretty tasty.
For
What
a
would be
lot
in
of things.
what would be in your rider, Savannah, if you were a big deal music artist?
Oh, Jaeger, of course. That's
A
like-
chilled bottle of Jaeger
Yes,
must
chilled
be
bottle
sitting
of
on this
Jaeger and
table.
Specifically chilled.
Yes.
Like a mini
Dr.
fridge, a
Pepper.
mini fridge full of chilled Jaegers.
Oh, of course. My favorite. Just kiss. Chef's kiss good. And then maybe boba tea. I'm obsessed with like the little boba teas.
It's like the bubble tea.
Boba.
Yes, it's so good.
Doesn't that? tried that one time. Doesn't it? It tastes like oatmeal.
What?
It tastes like
You had
oatmeal
bad
water.
Yeah, you
over-
had-
Maybe I'm thinking of
you had
something else.
bad-
I'm thinking
you're
of bubble
something
tea.
else.
I think you're thinking of something else. I don't think.
So boba tea is just like, think of like the best way to, I guess, like think of gummy bears, just like small little. Well, like what? It's just that's
Yeah,
all
I
it is.
guess, yeah,
It's just
Like
tea.
jelly.
Yeah.
It's just jelly.
Yeah, no,
stuff
that's
in
what it was.
Like chewy jelly.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was. I had that, and it tastes like
Does it
oatmeal.
taste like oatmeal?
Tastes like oatmeal water. Yeah.
No, it tastes like tea.
Tastes like if you made oatmeal with tea, I guess.
I mean,
If you boiled tea and made oatmeal, that's what it tasted like. It
Tasted
wasn't
like-
terrible, but like
You mean
it
the,
wasn't
you mean
as
the
flavor.
texture or like
No,
the
the
way
flavor.
It felt?
The flavor tasted like
he
oatmeal.
might have
You
gone
had
with
bad-
a weird flavor.
Yeah, he definitely
tea.
got
It was
like
homemade,
flavor.
so maybe that's why.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because like it's supposed to taste like tea or whatever flavor. Like I
Like,
got
tea with, like, milk in
like
it.
I usually get like mango flavored boba.
Yeah, no, I've only had it one
Here,
time and it
you'll
was
get, like,
homemade,
the actual
so
tapioca, like the black tapioca
No,
chewies.
I'll get like mango. I'll get the fruity ones because I like.
he's a
tea.
fruity
I
guy.
like, I am. A fruity guy. Not that fruity though. Not that fruity.
Peyton, what would be in your rider if you were a
Ooh,
big dick
yeah.
music artist?
I don't think we can like say that on. I don't think we can say that on the podcast just yet. We're not that big, and I have a job.
You couldn't think of
and
anything.
I have a job.
Well, of course.
Like with a company.
Never mind. Why did I even ask? Why did I even ask?
I mean, alcohol, 100%. Honestly, I would put
The Sincoro?
Sincoro
LeBron
on
James's
that.
tequila?
I would never say that it's LeBron James tequila ever again.
Is it not, or am I?
It's Michael Jordan's tequila,
Oh.
and you cannot say it's like the same diff. No, because Michael Jordan's actually like he's actually a nice human being. Versus LeBron James, like just
Is he
like
not?
Oh, yeah. No, LeBron. Okay, wait. Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better that it's Jordan and not LeBron.
Yeah, like come on.
But also, like, I pay attention to sports, like, basically none at all, and
Yeah.
the NBA least of all.
And that's I think that's justified personally. So to like least of all pay attention to the NBA. Thrash would be pretty pissed at that.
I could care.
Thrash loves basketball. He loves basketball.
It's big in Atlanta. A lot of people love basketball.
Is that the only sport they have there?
They have
No, they have-
basketball,
Baseball.
They have baseball.
Yeah,
football.
baseball.
Yeah, they just won the World Series.
Yeah, and that was huge because like they got denied
Ugh.
something for their stadium actually over originally, and then they won the World Series, which was like a huge thing. Yeah, they had like a
Good for them.
COVID situation that they like got denied, and then they like made it to the World Series, which was like huge. At least
Yeah,
in
I was
my
really
eyes, it was
upset about
huge.
that. I mean, no offense, I guess the Braves are. When it comes to like being a venue that is across the street from the Brave Stadium, parking for like day of show when they have a game is horrible because they automatically get all of our parking, so we can't offer parking to our
Oh,
patrons
ass.
if there's a show on the same day. And it's the day that the World Series parade happened. We had a sold out show, and it was the absolute worst day I could ever imagine going to work because I had to be there I wanted to be there by noon, so I left my place at 11:30, and I didn't get there till 3:30.
That's ass.
It was terrible. I was so mad that day. I had so much I needed to do, and it was 3:30.
I have heard traffic in Atlanta is pretty like butt.
Yeah, I've
Um,
heard that as well.
Like compared to like most cities.
It's terrible.
Yeah, how is it? Oh, actually, this is a good question slash like a good joking around question. How like drivers
Terrible.
compared to Pittsburgh?
Terrible.
Really?
They are god awful.
So how's driving around Atlanta compared to driving around Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh is the main place where self-driving cars are tested because of how like
Small the
It's
city is.
how convoluted the
how
city is.
convoluted
I
it
feel
is.
It's
like
complicated.
Around Pittsburgh, it's just a big circle, but like Atlanta's so big. Like they have like downtown, and then they have like midtown, which is literally right next to it. Downtown is literally the size of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I know
it's
Pittsburgh's really
massive.
small. I know Pittsburgh's tiny.
Pittsburgh
compared to most
feels
cities.
smaller than it is because it's all broken up by rivers and mountains.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say because
So,
like
like-
North Shore is part of the city.
Yeah.
Like
It's
South
other-
Side is part of the city, but it's across a river.
Yeah, other cities are just like all like it just keeps going and going and going
Yeah, it's
out
just
from
like
downtown. Whereas
giant
Pittsburgh, it's
circle.
like okay, downtown is rivers, and now
Yeah.
you have like another part of downtown, like on North Shore, and then you have like different neighborhoods that
Yeah.
are all part of the city. So it feels smaller than it is, but it is still a small city.
Yeah. Technically, like Atlanta, they have like a highway system that goes literally around the perimeter of Atlanta.
Yeah,
and,
Beltway.
Yeah, and they always say that if you're in the inner circle, that is Atlanta. If you're out of the outer circle, it's outer Atlanta, or it's like a different. You're either North Atlanta, South Atlanta, West Atlanta, or East Atlanta.
Okay.
So, I live north of Atlanta, so the city is just massive. Like they have, I swear to God, like 3 or 4 different Peachtree streets.
I mean,
It
that's
is
what
so
George is all. That's what
it's
George is all about is fucking peaches.
It's so confusing because someone's like, "Oh, it's on Peachtree," and I'm like,
Which one?
"Which one?" Literally, there's a main one, and then there's like random ones,
That's funny.
and then kind of like how Pittsburgh has like their like Southside's kind of like the party
Hmm. The party
place.
district.
Yeah, Buckhead is their like party district.
Okay.
And like downtown is like there's nothing to do downtown.
There's nothing to do in downtown Pittsburgh except like go to high-end restaurants, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then they have like Midtown, which is there's like restaurants and like there's stuff to do. I try to stay away from the city. It's so chaotic trying to get down there. The driving down there is god awful. There's always somewhere there's filming, so the roads are closed. There's nowhere to park, and if you do park, it's super expensive. I hate it. I mean, I don't hate the city, but it's terrible to get around.
That sounds like a goddamn nightmare.
It really is.
Pittsburgh is not that hard to get around, surprisingly.
Yeah, no, not at all. I feel like
Like, it's frustrating in some ways, but you don't get in traffic that often.
no, and there's always traffic in Atlanta. Like at any point, like there's times where I've left a show and it's like midnight, and then I'm like, why is there traffic on this road? Like there's like bumper to bumper traffic. I'm like, why
At
is there
midnight.
traffic? What are you doing on a Tuesday night? Like, why are you out?
There's just that many people working.
There must be because
They're hustling on a Tuesday.
there has to be, and ugh, especially with like, I'm like worried to go back because of, like all the snow that's about to happen, and like, I'm not ready for it.
Okay, so of all the places that I've driven, Virginia Beach is the worst. Have you been to Virginia Beach?
No, my brother has, but I've always wanted to go. But is it really that bad?
I was gonna ask you if Atlanta is better or worse than Virginia Beach, but it's bad.
Probably, yeah, it's bad. I
So
mean,
Jersey, people drive like assholes. They don't drive poorly. They drive intentionally rude.
yeah.
Whereas Virginia Beach is like, there's not a fucking care in the world. I'm just gonna merge here. I'm gonna merge there. I'm gonna fucking drive down the center of the road. Fucking my beat up Jeep that's covered in salt damage. Like,
Oh my. Especially.
sorry if you're from Virginia Beach, but like you probably know what I'm talking about, and your insurance is probably super high.
Oh my god, you should see some of the cars that drive in Atlanta too, because they don't have.
They don't
like,
have snow
car-
damage.
Yeah, well, yeah, they don't have snow damage, but they also don't do car inspection.
I mean, that's kind of a like, yeah.
I've seen cars of like their whole front end. They have like no trunk. They have their whole front end is gone. I can see their engine because they don't have a hood.
I think like car inspections are a necessary thing.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything, but if car inspections weren't forced on me by the government, I would still get one every year. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like,
Just because I want to know that it
would,
works.
though.
A lot of people
would,
can't
though.
afford to,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but like some of those cars, I cannot believe that they're driving. Like I cannot believe it. I've seen like whole bumpers, trunk, and like part of the side is gone, and I'm like, bro, how is that thing running?
they deserve the award for that.
And they'll fly down the highway. Like,
They're probably going the fastest. They're probably
Yeah, they are.
they're probably going past you in the right lane while you're going 80, and they're going flying by you, going at least 90.
What do they have to lose?
Oh, 100. I don't
What
think
do
it's
they
ever
gotta
seen-
lose? Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen a cop on the highway either. I've never seen one in Atlanta. I've never seen it.
I'm not
Like
gonna
I'll
I
see
can't-
them
I can't-
pulled over,
that's- you can't
but I've
complain
never
about
seen
that.
them.
No, I'm not gonna chance that though.
Oh.
If I'm ever in Atlanta, I'm not gonna chance that.
Oh my god. And the closer you get to the city, more lanes pop up. Like at most, I've seen like 7 lanes, and I'm like, we have 2 lanes here. I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do. If you're in the middle, you're fucked. Like, it's so scary.
That's fucking hilarious. What okay, I've got-
You just got off work.
Matt did.
Yeah.
I have so many questions, but we also
He's on his way.
say we
gotta wrap this up.
So we
but
gotta
do
wrap
need
this up pretty
Matt to
soon,
come
'cause
in
we are-
first.
we do have to wrap this up soon because it's going on 9 o'clock.
We did start a little bit after 7.
We did,
Yeah.
but we also did tell people to come over at 9.
Which they're not here just yet, but we
Right.
do need Matt. Matt wants to come in
Yeah.
guns a-blazing.
Oh,
He's
God,
just
yeah.
gonna come in ranting about something.
Well, don't tell the audience he's gonna come in guns blazing, Peyton. You're fucking ruining it. You're ruining the surprise. What? Okay. At this point, I'm just gonna go. You've broken down for us the way it all works.
Yes.
What's the wildest shit that you've seen at the concert venue?
Yeah.
What's the wildest thing that's happened?
Hmm,
Or what's the wildest thing you can tell me on a hot mic?
the loudest. Probably any EDM show. The bass and everything is so loud.
Ladies and
They probably
gentlemen,
won't hear the door slam at all.
ladies and gentlemen, the great and powerful Matt.
The great and powerful.
Oh fuck!
Oh.
I knocked so much shit over.
Oh.
Here.
I just knocked so much shit over.
Hi, buddy.
I told you I was coming in hot.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi.
Your fucking hair color again.
Yeah.
Was that orange like 4 days ago?
Yeah. I put black over it. Now it's blue.
How many people you guys got watching?
We don't know.
How the fuck do you not know?
You don't look.
Dude, we're on Spotify now. They're gonna listen to it after the fact.
Yeah. It also doesn't matter. Like, I don't care how many viewers we have during the show, as long as doesn't matter.
We didn't promote.
Whether we have one.
I feel like an asshole because I'm like the only one actually wearing my headset properly.
We didn't really promote this. Yeah.
Well, there's also
I
like
was wearing my headset properly.
the noise doesn't come through.
Yeah.
The headset.
What kind of weird questions would you like to ask, Savannah?
Oh no. No.
Well, one, I'm kind of curious as to why the fuck the light on our refrigerator's on.
Someone just turned it on.
What?
Well,
What a great question.
ladies and gentlemen, the light on our
I was
refrigerator
super
certainly
nervous
the
about
most
that.
certainly the most important question, and we're all about to find out. And
Especially with Matt being like.
really have anything to ask. I saw you like fucking 5 days ago.
er,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't really
Plus,
know what
like,
to ask.
we've been best friends for what, like 7 years now?
Yeah.
8 years?
Yeah, too fucking long if you ask me.
Got him.
Shut up.
as y'all remember, Matt's a reoccurring guest as he lives here.
I think I've been on this podcast one time.
I think Matt's been on this
Twice,
podcast for
at
like
least
most
twice,
of the episodes.
At least twice. Definitely at least twice.
So what was the topic of discussion tonight?
Random shit. Just
Mostly-
about her job.
Nice.
Yeah, concert stuff, random shit.
Where's my free tickets?
I'm still
I
here.
guess that's my real question.
What do you want?
Yeah, who do you
The
want?
Eagles just announced. Remember we talked about that before they announced?
I don't have $400 to spend on a fucking ticket.
You
He asked for
think I
free.
do?
You just asked for
I know,
free.
you literally just asked for free
Jason
tickets.
is gonna be able to get free Eagles tickets. Eagles. Literally one of the most popular rock bands in the entire fucking world. There's no way you can. If you can, I will be thoroughly impressed.
Well, I mean, I would have to pull
Happy
from like
birthday.
my.
Happy
I would have to
birthday,
pull from like
man.
my 4 year, like my. I get like 4 a year. Like, what if the Cure comes to the USA?
Well, then save your tickets for the Cure.
Okay.
I can watch.
Screw your
I can
Eagles.
watch a whole bunch of fucking live videos of the Eagles on YouTube.
We're seeing the midnight. We're seeing the midnight.
I'm not.
You didn't get tickets?
No, I forgot.
They're probably
They're-
still
they're
selling.
probably
out.
still available.
No, they are still available.
How much are they?
$35, dude.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. For the floor seat, for the standing
What
floor.
if Rick Astley comes to Atlanta? She's got to stay for 4 free tickets a year for Rick Astley and her 3 best friends.
Rick Astley.
Dude, are you tripping?
He's gonna rickroll.
Because he's the greatest
the
artist
entire
alive,
concert.
dude. That's why.
Listen, I will tell you guys need to listen to his 50 album, his gospel album. It's fucking fire.
He is a gospel.
No,
album.
he does, because he ended up becoming a born again Christian and released a whole album about it. It sounds stupid, but it is a fucking bomb ass album.
Is it like
I mean,
the
it-
Lord's never gonna give you up? He's never gonna let you down. He's gonna turn
Hey,
around
hey,
and
it's-
save you.
It's probably better than Kanye's gospel album.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa.
Kanye
Whoa.
has-
Hold up. Do not
Jesus
speak such
name.
blasphemies in our house.
I didn't know that was a gospel album. I don't listen to Kanye. I don't think I've ever
He
listened to a
went through a
Kanye.
whole weird ass gospel phase.
Hey, he won a
Yeah.
Grammy
One
for
album.
Jesus is King.
It's not a good album, Ethan. It's just not. It's not good.
I'm not gonna argue that.
It's not good. Donda though.
Donda though is the next one.
Donda though is a great
Album of the year.
Donda's a great album. Anyway,
So, what was the wildest shit you've ever seen?
And then we'll close it out.
I would say before the whole Travis Scott situation happened, he came to a show. I think it was a Kevin Gates show, and I handed him tickets.
Travis Scott.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I just handed him his tickets. It was like they made it like a huge deal. Like he came in like the back door and all that stuff, and like I had to hand him
That makes sense.
all that stuff backstage, and they like closed off like a whole upstairs section for him and his people. He had a lot of people come, and then he performed on. He did one song with Kevin Gates, and I think it was Kevin Gates, and then that was probably like, the craziest thing. Although I don't really care for Travis Scott, so I wasn't like
Does anyone?
I mean, now they don't.
Now they don't.
Now they don't.
True.
So I think what Ethan means by craziest thing though is like, what was like the most like wildest,
outlandish
bullshit, like this shouldn't happen, and it like was a bad situation, but is funny in hindsight.
Tell me about like
that type.
the type of shit where you get home and you'll get yourself in the mirror and you're like, damn, there's a glitch in the Matrix that was wild. Like, holy fuck.
There's a glitch in the Matrix.
I mean,
if there was,
well,
I mean, if
probably,
there wasn't, then alright. But I feel like there at least is one.
I mean, probably.
Like someone like got naked and ran on stage or something like.
That's happening right now while you're here.
The question is.
That's gonna happen when you take Matt to see the Eagles. It's gonna be Matt.
That's gonna be Matt.
Exactly.
It's the Eagles. You have to run naked on stage. I mean, it's what you do.
Anyway.
I would probably say, Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll. So their fans got. Well, the moment I walked into that venue, it smelled like an ashtray.
Is there smoking allowed inside, or is it just it smelled that way anyways?
I think.
And this isn't
the
like
whole crew
good
smell.
ash. This isn't good ash.
It never is.
Well, cause like weed ashtray is like.
No,
fine.
it's like cigarette, like
Oh.
like trailer park cigarette. It was like
those new.
it was like trailer
those
park.
nursing Newports.
Oh no. Trailer park cigarettes, those ain't fucking Newports, those are fucking Winstons.
Yeah.
Winston's.
That ain't fucking trailer park, that ain't fucking Newports, that's downtown city cigarettes, fucking trailer park cigarettes, them's fucking Winstons, those things are fucking $5 a pack.
Yeah.
I know the smell you're talking about.
Well, it was just like
Crisscross.
the whole show. Like the people were. I don't want to say that, but like they were very trailer-esque
Trailer park
type of people. They very much smelled
White
like
trash.
yes.
You can say it.
Yeah, they smelled like trailer trash, like either on meth, use meth, or sell meth, or cook meth.
So an
Type of
interesting,
three.
interesting
Or all
audience. is what you're
three.
saying.
Or all three.
A wild audience is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I mean, like there were people that were puking. There was a woman that like showed her ass.
Wait, to the stage? She presented her ass to the
bartender
act?
because he
Oh,
told
to
her
the
to put on her
bartender.
because she was smoking a cigarette inside at the bar. The bartender was like, "Yo, you can't do that," and then she just full on mooned him. She was also blackout drunk.
It was probably some like old, like some woman in her like 40s or 50s that looked like she was in her like 70s because of how much she smoked.
But she believed she was in her 20s.
But
So
but believe she was in her 20s. What a description.
And-
She was probably in her 40s, looked like she was 70, but believed she was in her 20s.
Yeah, I mean, there were people that were coming up and they were like, I got fake tickets, or we were telling them they got fake tickets, and they would start crying because Jelly Roll saved their life. Jelly Roll got them sober. I've been sober for a week because of Jelly Roll.
A week?
I
I mean, hey,
And I'm like,
hey, a day is something. I mean,
Hey, yeah, I mean,
better
like,
than nothing.
good job for getting
A day is
sober.
better than me.
But like,
But were you sober after the concert? Is the real
yeah,
question.
That's true. But like, it was just all around. Just everyone was fighting. Everyone was getting way too drunk and having to go to triage to get medical help. There was someone coming out in like a wheelchair. They were like incapacitated. They were like,
Now that's a
like
concert.
incapacitated. And they took him out because it was so hot, and they're like in a wheelchair. They could not move.
What band is this?
Yeah, it's
It's
Jelly
a Jelly Roll. He's
Are we gonna
a
have to?
white
Are
rapper.
we gonna have to send Jelly Roll or send like who Jelly Roll is to Andrew to Channel 5 News for him to do like
Jelly Roll concert?
a Jelly Roll concert like
Yeah,
thing?
it's a very specific. It's like
Shout-
rap meets country, but it's like
Oh,
not.
probably Thomas.
It's probably not.
And
It's not
Ben.
good country. It's not good rap, and it's not a good mix.
Go away.
He looks like a sound. He looks like a SoundCloud rapper.
I mean,
But
there's
he
a lot
has
of good
not.
people that get this.
Yeah,
started
but
on
he
SoundCloud.
yeah.
We're
That's
still
pretty
alive.
much.
Gentlemen.
We got more people in the house. Watch the cord. We are still alive. You can say whatever you want. You don't have to be quiet, by the way. It doesn't-
Yeah, this podcast is very chaotic.
We're gonna probably close this down now, actually. So.
We got
No.
Thomas, Ben, and
it's not
Nicole
your
in the
bad. We were
house.
supposed to end it
So
at 9, and it's past 9.
It's
So.
liquor time.
Oh, dude, we did shots to start off the podcast.
I've been drinking since 4:30.
Let's go!
All right, ladies and germs, I think it's probably time we wrap this bitch up.
This amazing.
Before you sit on the podcast.
Let's
go, Brandon.
Other side.
What was
Let's
that,
go,
Matt? You want to say that again?
I said, let's go, Brandon.
Oh, did you say, let's go, Brandon?
Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
It is.
Let's go!
Supreme
Have a
Court,
good night,
baby, big
everybody.
decision.
Have a good night, everybody.
This is my episode.
Savannah, hold on, before you cut this, Peyton, is there anything you'd like to add, Savannah?
That's
what you're supposed to ask at the end of interviews.
Watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. Thank you.
And watch our episode on it.
Yes.
Be ready for my tattoo episode where I'm going to get a tattoo live on stream in February.
End of February. Next week, we got Tim on for talking about artwork, these pieces, and his other shit. Check us out next week.
Yeah,
Follow
make
us.
sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.
Fuck you.
So you can see the notifications for whenever we go live.
Subscribe on it. Follow us on Instagram.
Bye.